Hello everyone, and in today's video I will show you how to play the Traxler. So we will be looking from Black's perspective. So um so it goes pawn to e4 and we go pawn e5 and we get an Italian game, but you go knight f6, which is not very popular in the Italian game. Now, white will go for the fried liver, attacking f7 to, to fork your queen and rook. So you will play bishop c5, and the late chess engine says this is an inaccuracy, but this is a Traxler counterattack, as it says right here. So the most popular move right now is bishop takes f7, check, and king e7. And you basically expose black's king. But instead, um, white thinks that um, knight takes can win a queen or a rook. Then this is where the counter gambit comes in. And so we go bishop takes f2 check, and ending says king takes f2 is the best move, but king f1 was played the most to keep this fork. But let's see what happens after king f1 and king takes. So obviously, after king takes, you go knight takes e4 check, and king e3 is the best move by the lead chess engine, but king g1 is the move that I recommend you to play. So now queen h4, and now you threat a mate. So actually the best move is g3 and knight takes g3. If pawn takes, then you don't even take the bishop. You play queen takes g3 check, and after king f1, there's rook f8, and there's all this pressure down the f file, and white will probably not survive. But instead, the best move is knight takes h8, and I've been studying this. So now, d3 or taking is both good, but I like. Oh, right in this position, knight takes h1 is a blunder because after knight takes h1, you don't even have to take because d3, and you just have a better position because this knight's not going anywhere. And if you think that's mate, but then you play king takes h1. Okay, so let's look at the best move now. The best move is knight to d4. I'm trying invading with the knight, but not going to f6. F3. Once again, h takes g3, runs into queen takes g3. So basically, I can never take this knight. And with normal play like knight c3, white should get an white should get some advantage, but d5 wins the game. Because knight takes d5, then there's bishop g4, and there's all these threats. Like, for example, if both players play best moves, black is just completely winning right now. Because, first of all, your queen's trapped, and if you go here, then knight f3 check. And you basically just win the queen. Knight takes and takes, and you're wondering why that can't happen. You can't play this is because queen takes g3 again, and king f1, and there's this attack around the king, like king f4 just wins. both players play best moves, it is going to be force mate. Yeah, and basically, the king has no escape, and we have successfully made a cage with these three pieces. And now I believe that this is mate. Queen to e2 is mate, so knight g3 check. H takes g6 and some random move. There's knight takes c2 mate, or queen to e7, or queen to oh I just miscalculated that. Sorry. Also knight f5 mate. Most players would fall for this trap, so that's why I recommend you to play it. So now I'm gonna show you some games that I play with my friend, and I actually lost all of those games. And let me just set it up for a second. Okay, so we are on game number one, and I am playing with the black pieces. Let's go. 45 now 396, and we get the traditional Traxler. And it's really weird why Bishop 13 says Bishop C5 is a mistake. So we get that perfect. Uh, we get the perfect Traxler, and in this position I did not play here because then there I didn't see this fork and no idea why this is good because yes, I think this is just winning for black. This and yeah, I just think this is winning for black. Wait, I was white. How do I flip the board? I don't know. So bishop takes c5 and bishop g4, queen f1, and queen to castles. Takes and takes knight, and I had such a big advantage, and then I just lost the advantage. This king takes h4 runs into g5 check. I spent the rest of my game trying to find a way to win, and eventually he blundered. But after some moves, I also blundered. But this is still draw. But I was thinking about king b7, so his king doesn't get to c1. But a7, and I didn't think of that. I could promote, and he has to keep checking, or he could just let me queen, and yeah, let's draw. But eventually, I miscalculated some things, and I miscalculated some things because I gave the b5 square for the rook, and now the rest of the game is basically shuffling. And uh, my opponent won. So let's get to the second game that I played here. We have the traditional Traxler again. This time the same thing. But a few days ago, I played Queen H5 and I saved my knight and won his queen somehow. But now Queen H5 is blunder. Queen G6 and I have to go back. Well, you're wondering why do I have to go back? Because if the knight takes to discovery Queen F1. The rest of the game was just him dominating me, and I was on move 23 that he beat me. By the way, he's 1500 and I'm 1700, which is a little embarrassing. But I actually didn't study the Traxler much. And I have one last game I want to show you. It looks like, oh yes, right here, this game right here. And I saved myself. Traditional Traxler and the same thing, but this time we get something different. He tries to trap my knight, but wrong things happened, and I was just a lot of material. I traded rooks, I won a pawn, and game over. I traded, and I just took all his pawns, and I promoted my pawn. And a few moves later, I beat him. And let me just show you where I play better than the last few games. Yes, so in this position, um, Queen f4 is just a blunder, and maybe he was thinking of taking the bishop. But yeah, but he didn't calculate um what happens. Like not what happens, but what are the checks and threats captures, and those are the most forcing moves, and I basically did not have to give up my knight. I mean, I give my knight up for at least a pawn, which is better than nothing. And I really don't know why he played knight e6 check. I mean, I don't really know why I played knight e6 check. But yeah, this was a very clean game. But I'm still a little embarrassed because he beat me in 23 moves, and I beat him in only 54 moves, and I'm 200 points higher than him right now. Yeah, and that's done for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this with your friends, and I'll see you in the next video.